Hi, I'm Kelly Marie with That's What I'm Talking About, and this is a bit much. Woo! All right, we're about to talk to Denise Bar, and she's an all around amazing human being, and I can't wait to talk to her. So we'll get started here on That's What I'm Talking About. Trying out these new lights, so bear with. We'll get it going here. Let's see how this goes. So, and here we go. Let's invite Denise Barr to our live podcast. Yay. All right. Don't want to do that. Sorry about that. This is all behind the scenes stuff. So, for all you folks that want to become podcasters, it's pretty fun. All right. Let's cancel. So invite the friends. Make sure you're inviting the right friend. Note to self. Okay. All right. Real soon here, we will have. Oops. Let's straighten up a bit. Welcome. We're live. Takes just a minute. Well, welcome, Denise Bar. We're live on That's What I'm Talking About. How are you this morning?
Hi, Kelly Marie. Very good. How are you? Thank you.
I'm doing good. I don't know if you know or if we talked, but I'm right now in the process of kitchen renovation.
Oh, that's exciting. No, you did not tell me that, but I'm very excited for you.
Yeah, although I believe you like to cook. Am I wrong or right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, guess what? I haven't had a stove since February 3rd.
I know a lot of people who usually have to convert like a dining room into a makeshift campground kitchen.
That's exactly. I think that's how we would have to best describe our kitchen right now. We have our refrigerator right as you walk in the door. And it's driving me insane because you know what I do for a living. I stage homes and I decorate them and I get to sell these beautiful homes. And so it's just driving me crazy that I can't have my front room all pretty. So, but it's all right.
It's very temporary.
Yes, I like that. Oh, although February till now, what is it already? April 4th? I'm ready. Right now, they're in the process of building the cabinets. So that's exciting.
Oh, that's awesome. I can't wait to see what it looks like.
Me too. But Denise, it's so nice because we are local girls. I've been blessed to interview a few folks, one in Colorado and all over the place. Another nice gal from Oregon. And so I love the fact that you and I are just, geez, 20 minutes away from each other. And I love that.
Yeah, it's a very small town, I'll tell you that.
Now, how long have you lived? May I say this, the town that you're from?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, Denise is, well, this is how we know one another, is we love Chino Hills, California. And were you in Chino Hills before when it was Chino?
No, actually, we moved here in 2002. So March 1st, 2002 was when we finally moved in, got our keys, and called Chino Hills our home.
Oh my gosh, I love it. And where were you at before Chino Hills?
We were in Anaheim Hills. We had a nice little condo there. My husband had bought when he left his home,
right,
parents' nest. So he bought a condo in Anaheim Hills.
Oh, that's very nice. Anaheim Hills is very nice. In fact, did you know that Chino Hills used to be called the safest city, one of the top 10 safest cities to live in?
Yep, that is exactly why we lived here for sure.
Did you know that Irvine now is the safest, second safest city here in the United States of America?
I feel like I heard that. So that.
Are you there? I've been playing with this. Uh-oh, I think. Oh, there you are, Denise. I just lost a little bit of connection with you. I've been playing around with our setup, so you can hear me.
No problem.
And you have a really good connection, right?
Yeah, I do. I'm wondering if it was you or me because my phone screen went off. So as soon as I turned it back on, the mic went back on. So that might be it. So I'll make sure my phone screen doesn't go off.
Okay, great. And speaking of connections, let's talk about Chino Hills Connection. When did you decide to do this? And can you tell us a little bit about what Chino Hills Connection is all about?
Yeah, gosh, that was forever ago. That was, I want to say November of 2010. I had been a stay-at-home mom since 2003. I had 3 little boys at home. I remember the exact day I started it. I was sitting in my office, and I was thinking of a way, when you go on Facebook and you post something like, hey, does anybody know where there's a good dermatologist or a good pediatrician? It's going out to all your friends that were going, from Colorado to New York to New Mexico. And you might get 1 or 2 answers from maybe someone that lives in your city, just because, everybody sees everything from everyone, right?
Right.
And I happen to remember that way back when I lived in Whittier, someone had created a Facebook group for the Krikorian movie theater where I used to work. And I thought, if I create a group on Facebook and add 60 of my friends, maybe it will grow, and maybe this will be the place that people come to find out what's going on in Chino Health. Mayor is. I don't know who our council is. I don't know what's going on in the city. I mean, we get a few flyers here and there, but I didn't know anything about our city. And I mean, really, truly, what sparked my mind was, what if I need a plumber? I don't want to go to Yellow Pages, because we still kind of had the books back then, but it was more online. Right. I didn't want to go to Yellow Pages and just look at an advertisement for somebody saying that they're the best plumber,
Yeah.
So I
tell me about it. Poor realtors, Anyway.
I created the group, and I remember I probably went through about 2 or 3 names. To be honest with you, I don't remember the first names, but someone had said, why don't you call it something like Angie's List, like Denise's List? I'm like, no, that's already done. I didn't want to monetize off of it. I wanted it to be something where everybody could come and feel like a family and find trust and friendship and community, which I didn't feel like we had. And thanks to the internet, this was something that we could do. And before I knew it, it took probably about a year and a half. Right. And then all of a sudden it blew up when the BAPS temple erected. And people didn't know what it was. So it kind of caused a little bit of controversy. And then I thought, oh my gosh, I had no idea that people were using it, because I kind of made it and then I kind of walked away for a little bit. And then I realized I got to kind of button the hatches down with this thing.
well, how many times have we done that, where we've created things and we just walk away and then we can't believe how much they've grown, or they've gone disarray, or they've become this most amazing. I'm almost like equating it to my garden. I used to like pensively watch it and hope that something would happen. And then most recently, with all this crazy rain here in Southern California, I've walked away, absolutely just threw my hands up. But now I go back out there and I am fascinated at the growth and but by walking away sometimes. But so when you came back, Chino Hills Connection was getting a little it ran amok, right? Is that what?
Ran amok a little bit. Yeah, there was, people calling people names, calling people out, shaming people, shaming businesses. And I'm like, whoa. This is not what I intended this for. I like to look at myself as a wholesome person that, I'm here to help people.
Right.
I didn't want to create something that was hurting people. And so at that time, I think we had 3,000 members. And I was just like, okay, I gotta wrangle this in somehow. So I created some group rules and made some parameters, and the whole, like I said, the reason I created it was because I wanted people to be able to connect with one another, and really I wanted people to recommend businesses that they like. Like, for instance, one of the businesses that came to my head is I had a mobile screen guy come out to my house, and he had a truck, and on his truck he created screens for me. And I thought, oh, this is amazing. I'm like, yes. I'm going to share this with people. But I thought if I posted it on my Facebook page, it's going to go out to my friends in Colorado and Maryland and Montana, and they don't care about that. I wanted something that people could see was local. So to kind of get people the idea of what I wanted to do, I just recommended a lot of things that I used. And if they stuck, they stuck. And if they didn't, they didn't. But people, essentially, they got the hang of it. And, after probably about 6 months of growing pains, I think we wrangled it back in. I know there's some people out there that would love to just say whatever they want and feel like it's, free speech and a free forum, but we have to keep reminding them a group is not a free forum. It's a group and we have rules. And, if it's not rules that you want to follow, you're more than welcome to leave.
More than welcome to leave, more than welcome not to watch, more than welcome to turn off the station or change it or listen to something else. How many times have I have maybe commented or maybe posted something that from my heart, the intention was pure and quite lovely in my heart, and it only to follow to be some hate stuff on it, and I'm like, oh man, that is insane. But I guess that's just a snapshot of what's going on, you know.
Yeah, we had some really big instances, like when COVID hit and then BLM went rampant. And, I actually, my family was put in danger for several different reasons because people didn't agree with our rules and they wanted to just be able to do what they wanted. And because we didn't allow that, we got death threats. We got threats to burn our house down. Yeah, my son got threats that, people were going to beat him up. And it just was, it was a crazy time. I had a lot of prayer, a lot of conversations with God. And because of those, I was able to wake up the next morning and feel strong and realize that, honestly, these are just words. I don't know if you know what being canceled is. I know that's a popular word now.
Yes, so many people.
I had this guy try to cancel me in my life because I wouldn't let them post about riots or protests or marches. Like, we don't, there's things, it wasn't because we agreed or disagreed. It's just, we don't do that in here.
Right. So. No means no means no.
Right.
And it's just so sad when people can't hear the no. And I think too in that First Corinthians 1:13 about love. And love is patient, love is kind. And then this is the part that I don't know if a lot of people hear, but love does not insist on its own way.
Yeah.
And sometimes that would be somewhat of a person that was insisting upon their own way. And it's unfortunate, but rules are rules. And that's just, I mean, if we didn't have rules, it would be mayhem. And look at all the people that are coming and flooding into United States of America because of it being the golden child of the countries. Although as of late, being born here local in Southern California, I'm just I I throw my hands up with our taxes. I throw my hands up with the blatant graft and the blatant, just shadiness of everything. And I've been one to not be real happy with who we have elected into office throughout my time living. And I vote every time, but we'll see what happens. I just
it doesn't. We're the same. We vote too, but unfortunately, with the way things are set up, it just doesn't seem to matter.
I know.
And I feel like there's a huge conservative voice that I'm aware of in our country and in our state and in our city. And if it wasn't for, I believe the moms that are out here, and some of the dads too. I don't want to take away from the dads, but our kids would have been, wearing masks longer than they needed to at school. And, they would have had the vaccines pushed on them. But I mean, it took a lot of brave women and men to continue to speak up and fight for our kids and for our rights. And if we don't speak up and we don't fight for the things that we believe in, then everything's going to get taken away from us.
Yeah, and I don't know if you heard this somewhere, but I did hear that they were trying to demonize Catholicism and Catholics, and that's like the next scary thing. And I was like, "Are you kidding me?" Or Christian-based families, obviously, because we are so strong, and we do it in a way that is precious and subtly. we are subtle, a subtle strength, and the strength is a united Christian, uh, you know, thought process and moral compass. And we do have Jesus Christ to guide us, and with that, back to bring you back to Chino Hills Connection, are you still doing that now? Is it still up and running, or have you kind of like passed the baton to maybe other people that might run it, or how does that work?
We do have a few other admins, and they're fantastic. They're wonderful.
Okay.
Facebook's actually set up a lot of permissions, I guess you could say, and things that they watch for. So we are able to set up code word, like keywords.
Okay.
And when those come up, then it will either automatically delete it or not. We can set up ways for people to post.
That's
So,
good.
Oh gosh, I knew that was going to happen. Of course. Hey, let me go out in the garage.
Oh no, we're all about animals. We love. Was that a little dog or?
Yeah, those are my dogs. I've got a delivery, of course, while we're on this.
Well, that's good. That's good.
It's okay. So yeah, we have Facebook has actually made it really easy for admins. I think there was a lot of pushback from admins in Facebook groups because many admins had their lives threatened for crazy things. Like there was a time a long time ago when I had told businesses, you're not allowed to advertise in here. This is not free advertising, because that goes away from what my group was all about recommending who we think is really good, not you advertising yourself. And a lot of businesses didn't like that. So I got death threats from that too.
Oh my gosh, that's ridiculous.
It's crazy. And I'm like, you guys pay for ads for other things. Like, if you're really that good, people will recommend you. You don't need to advertise yourself. And that was what a lot of the businesses in Chino Hills figured out is, they got to give good service. They got to be amazing and leave a mark. And people will recommend them because they're great and they're amazing, not because they're saying that they're great and amazing. So
yeah, that's the best. And I don't know about you, but I wanted to talk to you about the delivery. Perhaps was that your own business that you're doing there? Is that something that's from your business? Because let's promote what you do. Besides being an all-around amazing person, part of that reason you're all amazing is you are a soccer mom, you are a mother of 3, you are a business owner, you are forward thinking and trying to help the community, and you do so many things, Denise. And I just thought, it's so important to talk to you today here on That's What I'm Talking About, because I believe you do talk from your heart and you do have a story to tell. And I think enough of us moms and people that want to speak openly and truthfully, somewhat like that whole idea of your Facebook. Let's be open and honest. Let's not advertise, and be a really fake about what we really are, And that's why I was so happy to have you today. Can you tell us a little bit about your business that you do?
Yeah, of course. I kind of fell into that, actually. Many years ago, I was at Mount SAC, and I was doing a certificate program to become a sign language interpreter. That really piqued my interest. I loved it. I really wanted to do it, but unfortunately, my dad had passed away from complications of type 2 diabetes. And right before that had happened, I had a friend who told me she did this 30-day clean eating challenge. She called it a detox at the moment, and I was feeling so bad with my health that I thought, hey, why not? Give it a try. And so I tried it. It was with a company called Arbonne, and I absolutely did not like multi-level marketing, network marketing things. I didn't want to have anything to do with it. I didn't want to be on auto ship. I didn't want to be told what I have to buy, when I have to buy. And the reason I fell in love with Arbonne is because you don't have to do any of that. It's on your terms. And they came up with a program, a plan to kind of clean out your system and your body and to help you kick bad habits and to create good, healthy habits and a lifestyle change. And in 30 days, it worked. It happened for me. So I ended up doing another 30 days. And then I decided I need to do this and everybody needs to know about it.
Yeah.
And during that time, I think probably 2 years after I signed up as a consultant, I actually went through a program from IIN, which is the Institute for Integrative Nutrition. And I became certified as a holistic healthcare coach or practitioner, whatever you want to call it. And it's just all been about teaching people how to adjust their lifestyle and make healthier choices, and kind of show people that a lot of the things that most of the things out there are things that have chemicals in there that are really detrimental to our health, if not killing us and causing cancer and causing a whole bunch of other things. So that became my passion. And kind of in a way, if it wasn't for me starting this group and getting to know people, which I never considered that this was me, I became a networker.
Yeah, you did.
It happened without me knowing it. I'm like, the people are like, Denise, you're a networker. I'm like, I am.
Yes, you are. You're a fantastic networker.
Yeah, it just so I was able to meet a bunch of people, and they trusted me with their health and their time, and we helped people get healthy, and after that, after the knowledge, they know what to do, but it's really up to them, So I kind of like to think that I help pave the way for a healthier lifestyle, and I'm always here for people. I always tell them I will always be your coach, whether or not you buy from me. I'm always here.
Right.
So that's where I ended up, and that's where I am still today.
Oh, that's so lovely. And because so much of our food here in the United States of America is just sugar, so much sugar in it. And sugar, I believe, in my opinion, is the silent killer. It's killing people left and right.
You would be correct, 100%.
Yeah, and we're and it's an addictive belief. I believe it's very addictive because it seems as if when I say yes to sugar, I want more, I crave more. And it's so frustrating because I'll do really good and I'll omit it or I'll do my very best to get it as much away out of my diet. But then suddenly a movie and a Snicker bar just sounds so good and I cave. But then it seems as if now I'm going to go to the Thin Mints that were in the freezer from the Girl Scout cookies Natalie was selling. It's like, okay. Then it just like opens up the floodgates and then I'm miserable. I'm achy. My body aches, all that inflammation, but
yeah, and I don't know if you're aware of this, but in the foods that we have, especially fast foods and processed, I like to say overly processed food because anytime you cut a food or take a food out of the ground, that is a process. So overly processed food, they actually have paid flavor tasters, like scientists, that will actually create flavors and taste that they put in your food that connects to your brain receptors that makes you crave it and want more, and that's how they get people hooked on things. And sugar's the same way. And even seeing those commercials, you remember the taste, you're like, oh, what's one more? And it gets us right back on the cycle again. And you're right, it causes havoc. It's the same as cocaine. It does the same thing to our brain that cocaine does.
Ooh, that's so scary.
Yeah.
I don't even want to think about it. Just like, now, I was wondering, have you ever had an opportunity to watch Know the Cause with Doug Kaufman? Do you remember?
No, I haven't heard about that one.
I remember this years and years ago. I was sitting and I was channel changing and I was like, okay. And I think it was like on a random station, but it was called Know the Cause with Doug Kaufman. And he made so much sense. And I loved it because he was saying that these sugar, it's the mycotoxins and they almost mimic cancer, and they were talking about all this crazy stuff. So it scared me. And so I'm like, ooh, taboo. I really need to avoid sugar. This is scary. And then I heard somewhere about broccoli, that it really is good to eat raw broccoli to help with any, like a cancer fighter. That's what I heard along the way. Are you familiar with that?
So what I have learned especially in the course that I took with IIN, is there's so many different philosophies on what's good, what's not good. There's times where you're going to hear eggs are great for you. Then there are times that you're going to hear eggs are terrible for you. You know, and it's so confusing what to believe out there. There's people out there who are totally in tune with and will promote the raw diet. There's people who promote veganism and who promote a carnivore diet. And what it honestly boils down to is each and every single one of us, our bodies are individual to everybody else. Let's say the environment that you and I are both in, we're going to have different things happen to us because almost everybody's going to get something, whether it's cancer, whether it's diabetes, whether it's whatever. We could be eating the same thing, but the way our body processes things is going to be completely different than the other person. So I tried a vegan diet. It caused so much inflammation. It caused candida outbreaks. It caused so much stuff. And I did it right because, you know, I'm certified. I know how to do it. I did it right. And it was not for me. Not at all. There are people out there that believe in the blood type diet. So I think what it really boils down to is what works for you and what feels best with your body. And sometimes you have to kind of play around with it and see, because, you know, I don't disagree with the guy and what he's saying about broccoli, but there are now health coaches and nutritionists coming out saying broccoli is man-made, and I haven't done the research on that. And they're like, it's not as good for you as you thought it was. And you know, at a certain point, at a certain point with like everything else that's going on, what you were saying, what they say about Christians and Catholics and all that kind of stuff, God has put on my heart, I need to cut the chatter. I need to just believe what I think is true and have discernment and, you know, go from there, because the chatter is trying to distract us from everything else. So that's kind of my take on that. I eat broccoli every day.
Yeah, I like broccoli. And I know, I don't know if he said that about the broccoli. I just heard it along the way. And then I know too, it's so strange when I connect grapefruit in my body, my chemistry. If I'm feeling sick rather than an echinacea thing or anything else, I'll just peel myself a grapefruit and eat it like an orange. And suddenly I'm not at all feeling like my cold's coming on or a sore throat or anything. So praise God that I'm not taking any medication that would interfere. But I also thought, how strange. They're all on medication, but I'm eating a grapefruit and it's cleaning it all out. I don't know. It's just so, all of it's so weird.
You're right. I think a lot of us need to stand up more for ourselves and take our life and our health back in our control and stop going to the fast food, stop going to restaurants, start going back and cooking at home. I have a friend that's in Italy, and I mean, this was just from her. She was like, from talking to locals, most people are at home cooking. They, you know, take their time eating. We're always in a rush. We're always on the go. We've got kids in 5 different sports and, you know, all the mommy things that we have to do or the daddy things and coming from work. And we live in such a fast-paced life. That and stress can also cause a lot of dis-ease in our body, which causes disease. And I think we just need to learn how to slow down. And I would say the only good thing that came out of the lockdown and COVID was it forced families to reevaluate their time and what was important and how they're going to move forward when everything opened back up. And I know for our family, we slowed down a lot and we reevaluated things like what's important here, you know?
And I love the fact that you were saying that, you know, with your sons, one son is actually tap dancing and soccer and all that. And are all 3 sons dancing, or how does that work?
No, Andrew was an actor. He was a regional theater actor, and so he got a little bit of money here and there. And one of his first shows that he did, I asked some of the other grown adult male actors, what kind of dance should I put him in? You know, I wanted to put more tools in his belt if this was going to be a road that he was going to go on. And they said, hands down, tap dancing. And I was like, tap dancing? I love tap dancing, but really?
Yeah.
And they're like, yes, it's a dying art. Put him in. And I put him in, and within a month and a half, like that's that's my son's gift. And he's not doing anything with it, but he loves dancing and he's really good at it. And so he has private lessons every week and he does tap and ballet and that's his thing. That's what he's good at. So
I love it. Fan his flame. Do you remember, I don't know if you remember Miss Lisa Dancing in the Hills, Lisa Hovey?
Oh no, that must have been before my time.
She had Dancing in the Hills. She would open up her garage and had a whole dance floor there with a bar and with her mirror. So she would have all the community kids come, and very inexpensively, I think we might have paid $25 for a month of dance lessons. And my daughter Natalie would go and with her girlfriends and they would dance, and she put on big recitals local in these amazing theater. And it was just, and her mother would make all the costumes. She would sew all the costumes, and it was just so wonderful to know that that's in our community. That was in Chino Hills at the time. And most recently, I saw Lisa passing because our kids are in high school now, and she says, "What do you say we start a mama's dance?" And we start doing ballet. And because she says, "You're the first one I thought of, Kelly," because I told her I want to do ballet. And so she said, "Would you be interested?" So I'm just going to throw it out there, Denise. Maybe you might want to do ballet with me down the road. I remember when we went out to lunch and we talked about rollerblading. Do you rollerblade? Uh-oh, I might have lost her. I lost her on that. Are you there? It says you're connected, but maybe not. We'll give her a couple minutes. Oh, there you are.
Is it back?
There you are.
Oh, okay, I don't even know. I did rollerblade. I loved it. But probably since we have gone out to lunch, I'm not sure if you knew I had a foot surgery. I had a second foot surgery and I've had a knee replacement.
Okay, so maybe ballet and rollerblading might be out.
Yeah, I mean, I still dream about it. I watch him dance and I think, oh my gosh, that would be wonderful. But I will have to see where it takes me. Right now, I'm on a different health journey. I have just recently found out something about my health, but it's all good because I now know it and I'm working on fixing it. So who knows where I'll be in maybe a year, hopefully less.
Yeah, who knows where any of us will be. We just know that we need to stay connected. And I'm just so blessed to be able to talk to you today, Denise. Do you think maybe we can catch up down the road here, maybe after like summertime or so, and just see how things are going with you?
Yeah, I love that.
Oh, good.
Talking to you.
I had so many thoughts, and there were so many different subjects I wanted to chat with you about. And I just we'll save it for next time, okay?
Yeah. Well, Thank you so much for having me on this. I really appreciate it. It's fun talking about everything.
Yeah, it is. And I'm so happy to be in the world that you're in. And you just keep shining, okay, Denise?
You too, Kelly.
Okay. May God bless you and have a very holy week, okay?
Thank you. You too.
Okay. Thanks again.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye. That's what I'm talking about. Denise Bar is such a sunny, loving, kind human being. And all I could think about was, I want to talk to Denise on That's What I'm Talking About, because she's super cool. And if you have an opportunity to set up a Facebook group or perhaps any group that Denise has done, there are so many more permission deals that you can do, so that way it'll safeguard your group from any rogue people coming in there and causing havoc. But Denise is a bit modest. She has many followers on her Instagram page, and she's just a neat girl. And I'm so happy I was able to talk with Denise today on That's What I'm Talking About. Anyway, may God bless you, because that's what I'm talking about.